how we'll tell people yes all the time? Every time this particular person comes, we just tell them yes. And, it might be that we love them and, we don't ever want to tell them no. It's like our children, grandchildren, friends that we've had for a long time, we'll have this, what I call an obligation. Yes. We just feel obligated to tell them yes because we love them. And we've always told them yes. We've never said no, right? And we try to figure it out. Even if it's just unreasonable, we'll say yes. And so to get in the habit um, so that we don't say yes all the time, I have just some things that I've done that really help me, and it really teaches people that I know and that I love that I'm not always going to say yes, and you can't always come to me to get a yes. Sometimes there is a no, right? So we need to be realistic about our yeses and our no. I know that sometimes some people have been used to me saying yes so much that it's like, oh man, I got to get them out of the habit of thinking that they can come to me all the time and then I'm just going to say yes every time. So I have to practice the habit of no, even when I want to say yes. So, for example, somebody might come to you and they might say, hey, can I borrow $10? Right? And every week they're coming to you and they're borrowing this $10 or, however often it is. But, and you have it to give, but it's kind of like, why do they need the $10 all the time? And so to just start saying no, right? And then just sit with the no. And it might be even painful to sit with it, but just do the initial no, even though you do have it. You have whatever it is that they need, but you want to get them in the habit of not asking, right? So just say no, even though you do have the thing, right? And then when they come back again, say no again, right? And so you're just teaching them that you are not the sole source of whatever that is, right? And it may not be money, it might be a physical thing, it might be a ride to the store, it might be, can I use your washing machine, right? So it might be something that's just really taxing on you. It may be just sitting and talking, and they talk a lot and then you're drained, right? So the weight of the conversation is draining you. And so it's okay to just say no. And then even if it's painful for you, just sit with your no, right? Just sit in silence with your no, right? And then reflect, write about what you felt in saying the no, why you felt the way that you felt when you did tell the person no. And, most of the time, you know, I know for me, it was just guilt. This was like, well, I've been doing it, And so I had to really teach people that, hey, I'm not always going to be the resource for this particular thing, right? And so they would need to depend on themselves because they're capable, right? So you just have a teaching moment, but there'll be more moments. Just to get the person in the habit of doing for themselves. Now, I have this amazing friend who I loved going to her house. Her home is just beautiful. And so, sometimes I'd spend the night, and I love that. And so one time I said, hey, can I come and hang out and spend the night? And she said, no, I can't. I can't do it. I have to do something for myself. And this requires me to not allow people to stay over. And so I was so proud of her that she got up enough nerve to say no. not only to me, but to the other people that were used to spending the night, hanging out, right? And so this was for her own mental health, her well being, because she was so used to saying yes, and people were used to her saying yes. It was just like habit. Oh, sure, yeah. But it was taxing on her too, because to entertain people all the time, that requires a lot, right? And so if you don't have that weight on your shoulders, then you can be with yourself, right? So I was just really proud of her that she was able to do that. So when I go to visit her, I'll get in a hotel. Right? I'll get in a hotel and then I'll go by and visit her and I'll go back to my hotel, right? Out of respect for her, right? And so, that was just a way. And I didn't feel any kind of way because I just thought, oh, yeah, I love going there, and she always said yes. But it was a thing that really she needed for herself to say no. A consistent no gives a person an opportunity to get comfortable, right? So you're just allowing them to get comfortable with the no, right? And so then when you are ready to go back to your yes, they will understand that, okay, this person may say yes or they may say no, but at least you've gotten them out of the habit of always expecting a yes from you, and then you can rest. You can relax your shoulders because you may or may not be in a position to always give a yes, right? So this is just let them get comfortable with it and let them even be angry. Let them be mad about the no, right? So it's okay for people to be mad because they have to understand that you're one person, you know, and there's other yeses out there. There are, and you're not the only one. Now, let's just respect that the yeses are not totally gone from our life, right? And that we're just always saying no, right? They have their place and they have their time, right? It's just that you are teaching people that may be just unconscious to their behavior, that you're not always going to say yes, right? But there is a time and a place, right? So you're not totally just saying, I'm going to say no to everything. But if you just develop the habit, even when you could say yes, then it will teach someone that, hey, they're not going to always do it. So maybe I can figure this thing out for myself, right? I can do for myself. I can learn something. I can teach myself something. I can get myself in a position to where this thing that I'm always asking you to do, I can do for myself. A lot of times we'll commit to a yes when we really meant a no. And so we just don't have the tools to back out, so to speak, right? We have this guilt of, oh my gosh, now I have to go do this thing. Now I've committed myself and I really just don't feel like it. So, a way to do that, to back out, would just be to say, you know what, I'm sorry. I know I originally told you yes, but I need to take a step back, think about how I'm really feeling, and I just can't commit at this time. So I apologize, but I'm going to have to just decline. And it's a nice way to just say, hey, I know I said this thing, and I mean, you want to be true to your word, but this is just a way to pull back and be kind and courteous about it, right? Because it's really hard after you've committed to something. You might have even paid your money to something, but it's a subtle way, but it does work. The best thing that I can leave you with is just to love yourself enough to say no when you really want to say yes, and it will teach other people how to love you, how to respect you. Yeah. So I hope I gave you enough tools or things that you can do mentally to help you with your no's and your yeses, and just how you can go forward in your life. And maybe this will make it easier for you. Okay? Take care, and I love you.